Alright, hello, Stargazers. Welcome in. Oh, I still have to, darn it. I still have to figure out how to make this thing longer. I'll have to ask Blank about that at some point. But hello, welcome in. I hope everybody is doing alright today. Hey? No! No! No, no. No hate. I'm just very thrown off by stuff. It might be a little bit of a shorter stream today. I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. But no hate. At least the stream is starting, not ending. Every time I see Prism, I get happy for the adorable little face. Also, she hate. No hate. But how are you all doing today? Welcome in, Stargazer. Hello, Siam0, hello, Raul, hello, MG, hello, Johnny Virgil, hello, Weston Fox, hello, Stockler, hello, Janu, hello, Kalemex, hello, Babylon, hello, THLPH. Welcome. Hello, Vessa, Charles, Otis. Welcome in, everybody. Nothing but scuff, no hate. Yeah, there you go. Nothing but scuff, but no hate. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this thing longer. Because I think when I did the regular one longer, I believe that was an entirely separate source. So I think I have to have 4 chat sources. I think I have to have a long one for the regular Twitch and YouTube, and then I have to have a short one for the regular Twitch and YouTube, and then I have to have a long one for the Atelier and a short one for the Atelier. I think I'm gonna have to have 4 chat sources or something insane. Also, I think somebody gave me the idea last time of doing, like, having, like, whatchamacallit, words. Separate scene? Separate source? I think I'm gonna have to do that. We had big Prism, prepare for long Prism. Oh my god. I think someone's even given that suggestion before of having, like, a lawn prism emote. I think I have to do that at some point. I think we had an idea for that. Where it's, like, prism head, and then you can see, like, the bottom of her tassels, and then just the big body, and it can be, like, it can just keep going and going. We'll have to draw that at some point. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing well today. I figured today we could do a little bit of, sub-badge work, hence the discussions that we had in the Starlight chat today that went a little bit crazy. And then I figured we could also do some sketching of food type product, because people have been giving a lot of crazy ideas for food, and I feel like we could start sketching some of them out, because I don't think we're gonna have them as sub-badges, but we could have them as items in the cafe, because there is an Atelier cafe, and there is a bakery, so we could have some things that are very exclusive to us. Just like Lawn Cat, except Lawn Prism. Yeah, there you go. Pie. we could figure out some design of pie that would be acceptable, and not crazy. Alright, let's jump in here really quickly. We could start with either, honestly. I'm fine starting with either. Let's see. Let's go to our main drawing source here. There we go. Look! We got the chat working on this side. It's all good. Does the cafe have cheese? I feel like at this point we're gonna have to import some cheese. I feel like you guys will not be happy unless I import cheese. Cool window drawing. Thanks, Vessa. These are our blank spaces for doing, emotes and things. So we can make it easier to see everything. There we go. What brush is this? What brush am I working with here? What are these? Why do they have numbers? That's not right. That's not what I normally use. I normally use this. There we go. Cheese for everyone. Cheese wheel spinner. You're crazy for that. You're crazy for that. Importing cheese is easy, you just need to add it to your throne. I'm not gonna add the cheese to throne. There's so much cheese. there's so much cheese. I can't even get over how much cheese we have on the throne. It's crazy. Emote of Prism getting cheese slapped. Oh dear. Poor Prism. Prism's face already looks like she's been cheese slapped. That's the saddest part, really. Alright, do you guys wanna... Something tells me you want to start with the food instead of the emotes. Okay, before stream, you guys had me rapidly trying to research cheese-based desserts, and I couldn't find anything that actually looked like it was, like, mainly the cheese. I was only finding, like, cheesecake, or, like, different types of... I wasn't finding anything that felt like the cheese was the main point. Soap? Why soap, Raoul? Soap is food. No, Raoul. No, that is... we do not eat soap. Mascarpone is a type of cheese? Well, that's true, yeah. Cheese Danish. Okay. Cheese baklava. I'm not doing the baklava thing again. Goodness. Wait, someone do you really want to go there? Do you really want to go there? We all know how it went. You say that in such a threatening tone, you know that? Baklava is delicious, but it's normally, like, I don't think it's normally with cheese, right? Cheesecake at the peak intersection of Stargazer interests, sweets, and cheese. Alright, so if we did have a cheesecake, what would make it special? Like, this is a Lucinari. We can't just have a regular cheesecake here. He's bragging about the time he made an attempt on your life. I know, right? He's just like, ah, yes, remember? You see, the thing with cheese, that I think at least, like, if you guys are gonna keep going with that moon is cheese joke, right? Then at least you guys are lunar rabbits, so we can make connections with, like, moon-based motifs, you know? We could have, like, I don't know, we could have, like, some cheese platter that looks like phases of the moon or something, right? We could have, like, some sort of... I don't know. I don't even know how this would work. But, like, some sort of moon cheese platter of some sort. That could be interesting. Marble the cheese with slush fruit. Oh, goodness. I have nothing to do with it, that's unrelated? Then why would you bring it up like that? Cheese balaclava. No, Vesta. Mooncake, except it's just cheese. Oh my gosh. Hang on a sec. Does this imply mooncakes or cheesecakes in our world? That I'm not sure about. I really don't know. I don't know too much about mooncakes. I will be honest. I only know about cakes that I can shape like, well, I guess that technically is a mooncake because they're round. I really don't know. I don't know, I'm trying to think, like, if I did, like, a cheesecake with, like, maybe, like, a moon-shaped cookie on top or something. I wanna have, like, a bakery of a bunch of aesthetic foods. Most people probably don't know this, but in the Ko-fi, where I originally had the memberships, like, not the Twitch or YouTube ones, they used to be represented with, like, different styled baked goods, except now I look at them and I'm like, oh, those are really bad designs. Wow. That's like, none of those look good. So I want to remake those someday, but, yeah, I want to try making stuff where it's, like, not a super generic design, but something that's, like, kind of exclusive-ish to us in a way. Like, this was one thing I had that this is probably the best looking one out of all of them, but, one tier had, like, this, Aurora Parfait, and the Aurora was basically, like, melted ice cream together. See that? So, and again, you know, I guess I have something weird with, like, wanting to do, like, accessorizing cookies in the shapes of crescent moons. I don't know why. This is the second time I've done it, apparently. I don't know. Crescent moons just make a very good, cookie decor, I guess. But yeah, I want to do things like this. I want to do, like, fancy foods. Unfortunately, a lot of the examples you'll see online nowadays are, like, all AI and they're stupid. But that kind of thing. I like coming up with different food ideas. If you take a big enough bite out of any cookie, it becomes a crescent? I mean, true. I don't know, there's just, like, it just works very well as a garnish of sorts, I suppose. I don't know why. Yeah, crescent-shaped cookie, it kind of has, like, a good garnish design to it. Also, you could do, like, star-shaped cookies, too. I know you guys were talking earlier about cookie currency. I still don't really understand that. But I feel like that could at least be, like, a design of some sort. I don't know. The 50-50 of if it was a crescent moon baked cookie or a cookie someone took a huge bite out of. I mean, I would imagine you could still tell. But yeah, I don't know, like, there's a lot of things that you can do to make cool designs. Like, you know, start, like, sort of, 4-star shaped cookie type of thing. That could always look cool. The cookie currency was great. We'll find a way to make it, like, I don't understand how it would work. I don't understand how it would work. You find a way to not make it destroy the economy, okay? You don't have to insult me to see if I'm still here. I'm just focusing on work while listening. When am I insulting you? What about Linzer cookies? They tend to either place shapes in the middle or make it have specific shape from the start. Actually, one of the best desserts I've ever had was actually a Linzer cookie, and it was, like, I'm not kidding, it was a star-shaped raspberry Linzer cookie. Best dessert I've ever had. Haven't been able to replicate anything like it since. And no recipes for Linzer cookies have ever tasted the same. I don't know what it was about this. I've been trying to replicate this for, like, years now. And it was a star-shaped Linzer cookie. And I think it just had raspberry in the middle, and it was, like, one of the best... It was just one of the best Linzer cookies I've ever eaten. I don't know why. I don't know what made it so good. It just was. I yearn to someday figure out how that was done. Because it didn't have the walnutty taste of most Linzer cookies. You know how most of them are very walnutty? This one did not taste very walnutty. We can use cookies to Gampa. We had them constantly during Christmas? That's really cool. That's really cool. Cooking stream. I'm not so good at cooking myself. I'm more of the designer behind the visual. Make them every year over here? That's really cool. I've had cookies that were like Linzer cookies, star-shaped, everything. But there was something very different about how this particular one was done, and I don't know what it is, and for the life of me, like, none of the others have ever tasted the same. I know that sounds super picky. I don't know what it was. Like, I can't place it for the life of me. I've looked at so many recipes, and they're not the same. Boy, is it a pain to put jam in them? Yeah, I would imagine. I would definitely imagine that, yeah. You'd probably have to, like, kind of let it dry out a little bit so it doesn't, like, get all over the place. Can you design a soup? Why a soup? I suppose I could design a soup? 1 year it's perfect, next it's a Herculean struggle. Oh dear. Why a soup? I'm curious. Where does the soup part come from? I'm kind of liking this stupid cheese platter idea. A cheese platter that's like moon phases. I don't know why, it's amusing. I have no idea how that would work, because obviously no one would really want these pieces, so I'd have to figure out like some way around that. But I don't know, there's something funny about it. Moon phase cheese platter. What is there to design? I don't know. The ingredients of the soup. I don't know. You can design a really cool ramen. But I don't know how you would design a soup. Make the smaller pieces rarer cheeses and it balances out. Ooh. Wait, that's actually a good idea. That's actually a very good idea. I wonder how, like, rarer cheeses would even look. I wonder if there is, like, not like a blue cheese, but I wonder if there's like a galaxy darker cheese out there somewhere. Succumb to the cheese propaganda. I'm not succumbing to the cheese propaganda. I'm creating solutions to the cheese propaganda. I'm trying to find cheese propaganda alternatives here. Ashed cheese is it, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. That's interesting. It would be interesting. So have like, I feel like there's some way that you could do this decently. I just don't know how it would work, but like, there must be some good way to do it, right? And then the other ones could sort of just be like how it's held in the bowl or something. That's what someone would say in cheese denial. What do you mean cheese denial? Creamy soup with cheese topping. Oh my gosh. This is definitely, okay, this is like, I'm just writing cheese platter so I remember what the heck this is even for. Now, I'm just not gonna remember, you know? We'll have like Swiss in the middle or something. I don't know. Luminous cheese. Yes, there you go. Luminous cheese. I like designing things to have in the atelier. A better French onion soup. Hey, just hello, welcome to move in. Words. Some of the ingredients used from Hallucinari have a slight glow to them, like baking with stardust and actual magic. Well, yeah, that's true too. There is like, I mean, we do have crystal apples, you know? That is already a thing, so. Crystal apples would be interesting. You could probably get a lot of, decent sparkles into anything with like a little bit of shredded apple. Yeah, because we already have... Let me add that in real quick so that Vesa knows that I'm not ignoring his desires. Because he's asked for that, I don't even know how many times now. Here. I'll even try to give it a little bit of color. If I can. Wait, this is not the right. Where's the right brush for this? I guess this could be the right brush. You know what? This is the right brush today, I guess. This is the right brush today. And we're just gonna get rid of all this because I'll paint it in instead of draw it in. There we go. This is sort of like a, what would you call this? This is sort of like a watercolor brush. And I don't really use it that often, but sometimes it gives some really nice effects, honestly. Imagine the peak aesthetic of a glowing jar of jam. You could have, like, galaxy jam. That would be interesting. Like, little... Because, I mean, if jam is sparkling, right, it kind of does have this stardust feeling to it anyway. I need to find, like, some sort of lighter blue, lighter white here. Glowing pie filling would be incredible. Okay, there you go. That would be interesting. Alright, it needs to be a little bit brighter because... man, it's not always easy to paint in crystal because you have to have, like, a very... intense. Yeah, okay, here we go. It always has to have like some sort of intensity to it. There we go. Alright, is it gonna... yeah, it's not gonna behave. Alright, we'll just keep that separate then. If the jam's a darker berry, it would look like a galaxy. Yeah, true. The only fruits I know from Hallucinari are slush fruit and crystal apple. There are a few berries, but I haven't really found anything beyond that. I know there's some sort of dragon fruit out there. And there's probably some kind of star fruit, would be my guess. If the seeds themselves are crystalline, then the jam would have some fragments inside. True, yeah. This is where you hide on Monday, Star? Hello, Duck Cranky. I'm not hiding. I'm perfectly open about where we are here. There's the shiny. Yeah. There you go. Then there we go. We can make Vesa happy. And these can basically be in any color. Like, I've seen blue ones. Durian? I don't know much about durians. Hello, Blank. What? What are you saying? What? Huh? House? What? Hello, Kaku. Oh dear. Yes, we've got our crystal apples here. Do the different colors taste different? I would imagine a little bit. I don't know, some of them are definitely rarer than others. I usually can only find pink ones. I mean, at least there's the pink stargazers always requesting pink ones. So I don't normally grab the others. I could try to get them in store though. She did it, she brought back crystal apples. It's like a whole story arc just resolved and Vesa's AFK for it. As half Southeast Asian, durian is the best and acquired taste. Ooh, interesting. I don't know what color my stargazer is. That's okay. We can figure it out. Oh, you know what? Good thing that you actually mentioned that, because there were people today asking about, if they could, like, commission me for a stargazer design of sorts. That is something that I can do. Since they're usually quicker, that is probably something that we could also do on Monday streams. If the person wants to. If they would rather it be off stream, that is perfectly fine. But in terms of, like, quick sketches and things, yeah, I could do that. I haven't really, like, I think the best way to do it would be to probably, like, have it from the, unique wishes listing, which is basically sort of the anything goes option for stuff that I don't, like, very specifically have an existing listing for. And then at that point, it's kind of like a pay what you want type of deal, depending on how detailed you want something. So, you know, like for 20 or so, I could do, like, getting you a quick sketch, which is similar to the style I did when I was drawing or / designing Vesa's. So, like, I think I showed this before? And then also coming up with a crystal and everything, the Vesa Stargazer, which, of course, I'm now going to lose. Hang on. Where's the Vesa Gazer? It was somewhere here. There we go. So if it's just mainly about, like, if it's mainly just for a design base, something like that, just to get the idea down, so that you would be able to, like, participate in, like, any group activities in the future that involve Stargazer designs and whatnot. And then if you want something more detailed, like, more refined, then that's sort of like a, that's some, bleh, words. That's, like, something that we could discuss as, like, a single view rough sheet, or something, like, a little more nicer and polished. It's really whatever you want. But yeah, I think that, my VGen listing for just, like, the pay what you want option. Essentially. So we'll watch the VOD. That was me. Yeah. Do I have the list here? Just because I'm stupid and I still haven't remembered to add the whatchamacallit. Still haven't remembered to add the call out, the website call out thing. Haven't missed anything too big? No, well, you are perfectly fine. Are you looking to just draw any fruit, sticking to game / anime, or just whatever sounds interesting? I'm developing foods that we could have in, Lucinari's, cafe. Or the Atelier Cafe. Tomorrow, I'm homeward bound. Prepare thyself. Also, I've been reading House of Leaves, so I bring back even more madness than usual. I don't know what any of that means, Blank, but I trust you. So there's, like... Let me see here. I clearly don't know how to self-advertise very well. Why won't you even load? Why are you being so annoying? There we go. But yeah, if anyone's curious, that's just sort of my main listing for, like, general rough sketch idea thing. General rough sketch idea thing, basically. And, let me go back to my food. VGen's been loading slowly lately. Maybe it's because they keep adding, like, so many new features to it, I would imagine. Because I'm sure there's, like, a ton of people who have been using it for, like, a lot of different stuff, right? Let me see here. I don't want to see what would happen if I... Where is this? If I had, like, some sort of a darker berry here, right? Not that I think this would really work for a tort, but just curious. Just kind of curious how this would work. And if it had, like, a little bit of a... I could see this being, like, a decent jam option. Blueberry slash blackberry jam or jelly tracks? Yeah, there you go. I think that would work. I'm 100% back now. Welcome 100% back. Welcome 100% back. Alright, I think something like that could be interesting. The cheese thing I really don't know about yet. The cheese thing I'm not really sure how to handle. I don't know. Something to this effect? Like... I like the idea of the rarer ones being the... There's just a lot of different ways you could go with this, I suppose. Some sort of... something like that, I guess. You fail even at dad jokes? I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to. Star-shaped galaxy cookie is a yes. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You could also have, like, you don't have to just be limited to this, though. If you don't like, if you're personally not a fan of this type of flavoring. Because, personally, I'm more of a, like, a raspberry, strawberry type, so. Something like that might also be nice. The old myth was the moon was made of cheese? I know, that's how we got on this whole topic, you lunar rabbits! What are the stars made of? Coconut? What do you mean what are the stars made of? Good luck to the stargazers spreading the jam. I'll pray for your soul. Oh no. Dragon fruit makes nice smoothies. Carambola slash starfruit for tart treats. Mangosteen pairs well with starfruit or makes for great jelly. Jackfruit for sweetness or to throw at unruly stargazers. Oh goodness. Inside the cookie, the filling, it's more of like a jam. No, are you thinking of coconut shavings? It's not coconut shavings, it's just because most of the fruit is very crystalline. Stars are made of nuclear fire usually, yeah. That is fair. But yeah, so you kind of could, choose your direction here. Clearly Space Jam. Throwing jackfruit at rowdy individuals is diabolical. It's like candied fruit, except naturally occurring. House of Leaves is a book which is written in a very weird way. It's easier to look up rather than explain. Noted, noted. I believe you. I'll just have to say I believe you at this point, right? But yeah, I'm not really sure, like, I'm still gonna have to understand what you guys were saying with the cookie currency once Vesa comes back. Or I think he's lurking. I think he's busy with work stuff, which is fine too. I'll have to figure that out later. I'll have to figure out what the heck you guys are talking about with your cookie currency. How would you even, like, how would you even hold all of that? Would you have, like, a little cookie box of your cookie currency? Like, how does this work? Do we have, like... Are you gonna have, like, a laid-out box of, like, all your little star-shaped cookies here? Like, how is this going to work? You have it in, like, little denominations of... Something like that. We'll establish a cookie bank. Simple. I want a bicycle. I give you cookies for the bicycle. Then I wonder how Bunny is supposed to bicycle. Like hamsters, they're stored in our mouth pouches. You're gonna have a limit there. Imagine open up a metal briefcase like the ones filled with money, except it's all just cookies. Can't have economies stagnate. Either you eat them or spend the cookies. Where are you going to spend them, though? That's the thing. Where are you going to spend them? Who is going to accept your cookie currency? Are you gonna, like, start your own trade organization? Like, how is this working out? Who is your trade partner? I'm buying grandmas to make more cookies. Building cookie mines? Oh, don't talk about don't talk about mines. Oh my gosh, don't talk about mines. They will go crazy. They will go crazy if you mention that. Rolling up to the poker table at the casino, the chips are tiny chocolate chip cookies. Oh, jeez. No, no one mentioned... Oh. We're entering Cookie Clinker. Oh goodness. How's the baking coming? I don't know. Because now the cookies want to be... I don't know. I don't know how it's coming because, like, we've got all these items and then we've got, like, our normal cookies, but now some of the Stargazers want to turn the cookies into currency. Except I don't know where they're gonna spend it. That doesn't really make any sense to me still. Mines as in bomb, as in explosives, as in explosive spider- No! Not like that at all. Not like that at all. I can, like, I could visually see a cookie being, like, a kind of interesting collectible-y thing, I don't know. But I also don't know where you're going to spend these. And I don't know- I don't understand. People are gonna keep the cookies, they'll get so stale, they'll use them as throwing stars. Is that why they're shaped like this? Oh my gosh. The cookies can be made from minerals or gems. Stardust cookies. Oh, they're gonna spend it at the Cubler store, oh my gosh. The throwing stars, though, Kaku. Oh gosh. He's interested in those mines. She's a special doctor in mine. Yeah, moving on. We are moving on. Ah. That was your first thought? Your first thought was that they'd be throwing stars? I'll use mine as bricks. It's gonna be awful house. I'm hyped. You're gonna make a cookie house? Oh. Also, Starlight, when you ever understood the Eldritch entities that are the Stargazers? I mean, I don't know. One now wants to make cookie house. I don't know. Linzers stay good for a long time. Oh. Ugh. I can't. You guys would use them as throwing stars. That's a problem. I can't believe. I love how this wasn't even Vesa this time. This was Kaku. Is a cookie house that much of a stretch given gingerbread houses? Well, not normally, except they're not rolled out in a flat sheet. They're shaped like stars. So how are you going to do that? You have tiny little, like, 2-inch star-shaped cookies. How are you going to build a house out of that? Sorry. Oh. Also, the cookies are soft. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. Gingerbread is at least structurally stable. Time, effort, and a whole lot of cookies. A pyramid cookie house. Special Stargazer power, metal teeth. I can eat the super hard steel cookie throwing stars. Oh, goodness. Very carefully and with a lot of icing for glue. You're gonna have, like, this weird, like, how is this even going to work? You're gonna have a strange, like, it'll look cool. It'll look very geometric, I guess. But, like, this is gonna take a long time to build into a wall. And then you'd have to fill this with, like, a lot of frosting, I suppose. It'll look cool, at least. I don't know if it'll be structurally sound, however. Now I'm hungry, gonna buy Linzer cake tomorrow. That sounds like a good idea, at least. Also, hello, Seahiro, welcome in. What if we bake the whole house? I don't know how you're going to accomplish that. Also, where are you going to keep this thing? You already have the atelier. Where are you going to keep another house? I think 6-pointed stars can fit into a full repeating pattern. 6-pointed stars. We had like a. Would they be able to fit together? Wait. I'm understanding what you're saying correctly. I don't think there'd be a. No, you're still gonna have gaps no matter what. I think, right? I think you're still gonna have gaps no matter what, unless you're talking about like a different shape. Unless you're talking about like a... Would that work? I still don't think that works, does it? 'Cause where would you even start it? Where would it start from here? I don't know if that would work. You're going to have gaps either way. We're gonna start a pyramid scheme, have everyone in the lower ranks bring more and more cookies, building it taller than a skyscraper. Oh. We're putting a house into the oven. Beautiful. Make bricks out of cookies? Well, that's the thing. Like, are you guys just wanting to make a house out of cookies, or are you specifically using your currency cookie? There's a very big difference there. Because your currency cookie is going to look like this, if this is going to be a thing. If you're just making bricks of cookies, I don't know where you're going to get all the material for that, because we still have a bakery to uphold. Direct heat from the sun to bake me a house. What? Counterfeit cookies? But how does that even work? How do you even have counterfeit cookies? The real ones have a seal of the Ministry of Hallucinari. But I don't run Hallucinari! I can't just... I can't have it sealed and approved. This is all within the Atelier. I have no control over the overall economy of Hallucinari. Oh my god, those are homemade Get 'em boys. Oh. I'm telling you right now, if you guys make cookie houses, I will eat them. That's the other thing we have to watch out for. That's the other thing we have to watch out for is Kaku. Because Kaku's under a contract to not eat me or any of you guys. And I can't really promise anything beyond that. Real ones also taste slightly worse than the counterfeit ones. Watch us building a cathedral made of cookies and the painting of Michelangelo of the creation of Prism, but made of cookies. Dear. Make the cookie money real, use it to replace channel points on Twitch. You know, the channel points on Twitch are crystal shards. The whole idea behind that is that usually the wishcrafting I do is done with a crystal star, and it kind of basically explodes, and then it leaves a bunch of shards. So the idea is that the channel points were sort of the remaining shards from past wishes. Throw cookies at Kaku. The mines? What? Originium? What? What are you talking about? Don't worry, Kaku, I feel you. Empty stomach pains. Candy no! No! I'm gonna have to, like, make a fake platter of, like, shaped like this again to distract you guys. Goodness. The mines. No. You guys. Goodness. We're never getting those emotes, are we? We can swap to that, too. But you guys were on a food kick. I had to address it for the beginning, I suppose. Emotes? What emotes? There's a food stream. We can split it. We can split it, too. Furry gasoline station? Wow, okay. Alright, you guys were absolutely in a food mood, and I was trying to address that and be, accommodating, but okay. Here, let me just save this in the Hallucinari section here, so we don't lose this. You guys will be sad if we end up somehow losing our food. Here we go. We'll figure out more food in the future. Alright. I just labeled it food. That's gonna be impossible to find later. The stargazers are ravenous yet demanding. Very true, yes. I would agree with that. There we go. Okay. So, basically, I think what might work is that there's a picture that I did one time. And there's kind of like... There's basically like, generic main single color stargazers. And they're kind of like an easier way to have multiple forms of representation aside from just Prism. So I was thinking that maybe each badge could be one of these guys, and then like the final badge is Prism. And then that'll get us to 8, which I think is about the right amount. We have Prism Bug Cat dead. Oh no. I'll have to have a different way of doing it. That's a gazer jump scare. The gray dot illusion grid is back. How much is Prism? I think that Sime Zero was saying that like the standard layout is like 4 years or something, but that seems kind of crazy, so I might see if it can be tweaked a little. I don't know, are we so difficult we just require food and we start eating each other? on, there we go. Star has a cat face? I mean, I'm a fox. I wouldn't necessarily say cat. It's kind of the same. Alright, hang on. Do something like... It's probably not the best brush for this. I need like... Yeah, alright, we'll work with this one. I love the ones you made for that piece, they're so cute. Thank you. And that's also how we have the one that's constantly asking for crystal apples. That's the pink one. So I feel like what we could do... I'm not really sure, like, how we're sketching them out, but because sub badges are really, really, really small, I'm thinking we just make the heads really big and the bodies really small, and try to, like, have them, like, very, very chibi-esque, I suppose. Something like that. And then fitting in the ears might be a little tough, but do something to this effect. Very big. Don't start repeating that! Don't start repeating that, Raoul! I promise not to cannibalize fellow stargazers. I say while munching on jewelry. That feels like a Kaku thing, but I know it wasn't Kaku that just said it. Alright, maybe I make this like a little bit smaller, just so that we can fit this a little bit easier. Maybe like that? And I want to see if there's a way that I can, like, try to make it, try to make them in different poses if possible, to make it a little bit more visually interesting. I'm not really sure, though. So maybe, like, around that type of size? And even if you can only see, like, the main color, then that should still be enough. And I thought it'd be cool to have, like, the amount of crystals, being added, but in all honesty, I don't think it's gonna fit, especially for a sub-badge. What, do you make the bodies smaller? I don't want them to look super bobbleheady. I don't want it to be, like, 100% bobblehead. It's already pretty bobblehead. I'm trying to not make 100% bobblehead look here. But something like this, I guess? Like around this level? I don't even know which one this is. I'm just getting a general base. Maybe... Is this even gonna be able to be posed in different ways? Let's see here. Have like... Problem is the ears. The ears take up so much room. We don't really have, like, much of a space for that, do we? But, like, what? Okay. I guess some can be small. I really wish there was just a better way to pose this. There's just not a lot of room here. We need to ask ourselves, what emoji do we need? Equivalent of GigaChad, Lawn Fox. These aren't emojis, these are the sub badges. This is a little bit different. It's not emotive. They're just sort of like name recognition membership stuff. Emojis are a whole other beast. Emojis are a whole other beast. It's definitely hard to fit. I want to see if I can do like a... I have like a leaping one. I don't know if that's gonna work. First one to me looks like it has a headband, and now I can't unsee it as Angelina Stargazer. Because I'm doing no else. Oh. Oi. Completely tilted head with swirly eyes, maybe? These are more like, these ones aren't as emotively based. I'm just trying to somewhat make their pose look a little bit more interesting. We can have a chance to do, like, plenty of, like, actual full-on crazy emotes later, trust. We have so many ideas for actual crazy emotes. Could use the evolution stamps and chibi sets as pose reference, possibly? That could be interesting. Stamps? Do they have stamps? Chibi sets? Is that a thing? Do they have, like, a chibi set of stamps? Chibi stamps. Okay, that one is all in the exact same pose. That could, it could work, I'm just not really seeing any, not seeing any full examples here. Wasn't referencing anything in particular, but surely they must exist. I would imagine, yeah, in some way. Okay, some of these could be useful. Some of these could actually be pretty useful. Hang on, let me grab a few. Actually, something like this is actually a pretty good size comparison thing. Something like this could actually be a pretty decent reference in terms of, like, the body shape, you know? Yeah, if I can try to keep it simple. The issue is I'm not good at keeping things simple, but something like that could actually be pretty helpful. Trying to see what else here. If I can force myself to keep it simple. It's not easy for me, honestly. If I can try. Let's see. Is there anything else that has that same feeling that's not too... Okay. I think this could be good. And... oh wait, are these official? Are these official? Hang on a sec. These might be official. These are strange! What the heck? These are strange. Look at these. Are these official? It's called Cuddle Up with Eevee. And it's like line stickers. Those are great. Oh my gosh, look at these. Let me type in line sticker and see what happens if I do that. Aw, no, that just got me line art. That's not helpful. I don't want line art, I want line stickers. But something like that could work. I think that's all I can find for the moment here. Oh, wait. Oh, I just realized. I just realized the perfect ratio, the perfect, like, visual ratio. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can find it. The promo art, the promo, man, what would you call this? Like the tag? Like maybe the tag? Yeah, I need to find one that's not signed. Jeez. Why is this so difficult? The polka dolls, they all have, like, a very chibi... they all have a very chibi design. This could actually work really well. Hang on. Like like when you get the Polka Doll plush, they all have like this type of look to it. So something like that could work really well. And it's just very, very intentionally simplified in a very good way. Alright, I think that's good. I think that's good. That could work really well. Alright, I'll keep that keep that one on the side. And I'll keep that first one that we found on the side. And grab this. And change this to our pieces here. There we go. Hang on a sec. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in chat here. Burgers. Yeah. No, you're right. Also, hello, Vesa. I know there's more Thursday through stream thing, but what the heck? A lot of artists draw themselves of or their OC and in the Doctor outfit. Do you plan to do something similar? That's an interesting question because the thought has crossed my mind quite a few times. Because I'll think about like something that I want to do is like a silly Bakadoodle idea, and it'll involve the Doctor, and I'm like, do I draw that normally or do I draw it with rainbow ears sticking out of the helmet? And I haven't really figured out what makes sense. Had to AFK, but now I'm back. All good, all good. Vesa, did you see that the crystal apples became a thing? Like, that's the main thing that you don't want to miss, right? No helmet, just the robe? Okay. Crystal apple. Crystal apple. Also, Stardust jam. Stardust jam, moon cheese platter, crystal apple. And, I need to, and then there was a big discussion on the cookie currency. There was a big discussion on the cookie currency. So we have to figure out if that is, a thing, because there's a lot of problems with it, potentially. And then they also started wanting to build a house out of cookies. The jam looks like it was made with the Stardew Valley starfruit. I don't know what that is, but okay. I mean, you missed a fair bit in terms of people figuring out what they wanted to do with currency. Also, Kaku realized that the currency cookies look like throwing stars. So yeah, I'd say that there was actually a fair bit. A skyscraper or a cathedral, not just any house. Also mining. We don't talk about the mining. We don't talk about the mining. Starfruit's like an actual fruit? No, I know. No. No mining. Like, we've already dealt with this problem on Irium. We're not gonna repeat it. Wait, what does the Flareon Polka Doll look like? Because the Vaporeon one's a little too specific. What does the Flareon one look like? Oh, okay. They're like, they're smaller. They're like, no, they're still large, but they're about yay big. That makes sense. It has to be able to be like seen from afar or like recognizable in some way, so. Cookie Cathedral. Didn't want to AFK, but I had no choice. No, it's okay. We need a Stargazer mobile fortress. No, we do not. We absolutely don't need to go through this. No hood would work? I once saw some VTuber as a Sancta doctor, and Sancta don't really like headwear, so it makes sense. I can just take care of it every now and then. Huh? No hood would work. Okay. I didn't know if that was like a required thing or not. My day was baking a house with the sun. We should be able to bake a fortress too. We don't need fortresses, honestly. You guys have already tried to take over Rome, and we don't need to repeat. We basically just don't need to repeat all of these problems that we've already dealt with. We basically just don't need to repeat anything, you know? Cathedral of the Sacred Cookie. Stargazers and Dwarf Fortress with the old cat programming? I don't know what that is. Alright, something like that. So there could be, alright, we could have a sitting one. We can have like a stretching one. We could have, I guess this is waving? I don't really know. And then we'll just have to assign which goes with which. And then there's Prism, who's just gonna be like, I don't know, holy entity. Prism needs to be like somehow shown in like some sort of, I don't even know how. Not really much room for it though. I guess just like sitting, huh. How do I make that look nicer? How do I make that look more special? Maybe like a twisted, I want something where I can have like some kind of cool movement. Either with like slashes of like a rainbow streak or something. If I just wish I had more room for that. If I had like some kind of, it's such a tight it's a very small space to work with, I feel. I have something that's like a little zoomed out, maybe? To have like some kind of like bow shape or something. I don't know. It doesn't really work, does it? Ah, there's not a lot of space here. I guess something with a moving shape, potentially. And then like sparkles, maybe. Very hard spot to draw with. Does not give us a lot of room here. We cannot forget the mining operations. No, we can perfectly forget that, actually. Alright, what else? I need to figure out like a take a look at how cubey looks or moves. Probably he does fit the pudgy fluffy cute theme. Fair enough, yeah. Is there like a line sticker? Hang on. Maybe there's like different. He's got like a, okay, there's like a sleeping thing. There's like, there's sitting, sleeping, looking over his shoulder. A lot looking over his shoulder, that's interesting. A lot looking over his shoulder. I just wish that I could like find examples of people who like take better advantage of sub badge design. I'm constantly seeing everyone repeating the exact same things. Mobile Fortress, it can be like Fuga, but with Stargazers and no scary cannon. There is no Mobile Fortress. We do not need to repeat Fuga. That sounds horrific. We absolutely do not need a repeat of Fuga here. Alright. Okay, if I can get this... this kind of shape. I want Prism to look really good in this, and I'm having a hard time fitting it. But maybe a shape like this could work. If I can refine it. You know, you know what would actually probably, well, maybe not. Maybe this is actually a little too far-fetched for the concept, but like, I'm kind of working within the canvas restraints of like the Monster Hunter icons, aren't I? Isn't this kind of similar? I've never played Monster Hunter, so I don't know, but isn't this kind of similar with what I'm doing? That's a thing, right? The Monster Hunter icons? Or is that more of a geometric thing? It might be more of a geometric thing. That's kind of the same feeling I'm getting in a way. Maybe I'm wrong though, maybe it's more geometric. Is that Prism loafing? Which one? They're not all Prism. I'm trying to make different ones for each generic Stargazer design. They're more geometric. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I kind of figured it's like 50-50 if that would work or not. We can have one that's like turned to the side or sitting or something. We like have this one with a up or something? That would allow this one would allow the tassels to show pretty well. We just have to have a shorter tail, I think. Of some sort. Hang on one sec here. I'll be right back. Hang on one sec. Hang on one sec here. Alright. Be good. There we go. What the heck, Vesa? Why? What on earth? What? Of all the choices, why this one? Goodness. Oh. You are all so crazy. So crazy. So very crazy. This ear does not fit! There, well, yeah, something like that. We'll have to do. Barely fits. The heck? What? If hair not fit, make bald? It's not hair, it's ear. It's ear. We're not gonna chop off ear. We're just trying to fit ear. We're just trying to fit ear. That's all. Hard to fit ear and tail. And make it look natural and, like, not crunchy. Alright, I think we're getting somewhere. Somewhat somewhere. We have, I guess that one's the same as this. Kind of like a play pose in a way. What else? It's very hard to, like, fit them into poses that look good. If I can have, like, a lot of their heads, like, leaning downward, that would also help, too. If I did, like... That could be one as well. I want to see if I can do a curled one, but it's hard. And I'm sort of just, like, playing with different pattern designs, even if I don't end up using them all. Just to see sort of, like, what we have to work with. And switch to lurk mode, still need to finish reading, aka event story. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Something like that. Does it have to fit? Could crop a small tip, put more focus on body expression or movement. I want to try to see if I can get it all to fit. If possible. If possible. It would be ideal. Because then I can also keep them as standalone things. Question Star, are there any other species in the setting? Like, within Illusionari itself? There's lots of different species within Illusionari, yeah. Alright, make this one a little bit more like the others. Everyone in the Atelier is a stargazer, but Illusionari as a whole contains a lot of different species, yeah. And think of the... Yeah, no, we try to not wage war upon other creatures. That's generally something that we should be avoided, I think. Alright. I feel like this could be enough? Maybe? We got... The prism one is the hardest to fit, of course. think what works. These are not easy. Not easy to work with. Correction, you try to not wage war upon him. The Stargazers, on the other hand. I know it's not the Illuminati, but can't remember off the top of my empty mug. Hallucinari is what word? What? It's not the Illuminati. Hallucinari is what word? Hallucinari, technically translates to hallucination. Or, like, within the mind's eye. That is the technical translation of the word. But it more so, essentially, it has that name because it's like, there's a lot of illusions. There's a lot of illusion magic. It doesn't literally mean that it's, like, in your head, you know? Stardew lay. Why would you think that? Let's just say not all projects in the clandestine Warren facilities are civic. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How do you make a chibi majestic? Lillian said you lay eggs? I don't. Lillian likes to cause trouble. Lillian likes to cause problems. Lillian very much enjoys causing problems. I think she's made it very clear that she very much likes to cause problems. Prismatic foxes are marsupials? No? We don't want to listen to what Lillian says ever. Exactly. Exactly. We don't listen to what Lillian says. Because Lillian likes to cause trouble. It's like her pastime. So no, don't bother listening to Lillian. Causing trouble by speaking facts? There are no facts here. Truly 1984 hallucinatory? What the heck? Suffer with me? Star egg omelet? What? Oi. Oh my gosh. It's called speaking truth to power. No. No. That is not a thing. Don't listen to Lillian. Lillian is like... Lillian is like, and I say this affectionately, but like the one that like spouts all the crazy conspiracies that you generally want to stay away from. Lots of jokes end up becoming server brand memes, but this will not be one of them. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Lillian's the forbidden prophet. Definitely not a prophet. No. Definitely not a prophet. Can't figure out how to make the Prism one look nicer. I want it to look really flashy and good, and I can't figure it out. It's bothering me. She's not a prophet. She's not even here right now. What I can tell, anyway. I don't think she's here right now. Not a prophet, though. Maybe something like this could work? You know what's weird is, like, I feel like I'm trying to tighten these designs so much, but then, like, the people who just do, like, inanimate objects, they don't have to tighten any of the designs. I'm always making things harder than they need to be. Something like this. So hard to fit everything! What? She's not the Messiah. She's just very naughty. Yeah. I think I need to just draw a star being like, whose words do you believe? And then one of my characters just pointing at Lillian with a deadpan face. Oh. There's no eggs. What? What is this? What is anything? What is golf? What? I'm picturing the one image of a hamster preaching to other hamsters. What hamster preaching to other hamsters? I don't have any eggs. I don't even have eggs for the bakery. I have to stock up. There's dragons that lay eggs. I am not a dragon. Hey! Ah! Yeah, student. Why? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? The necklace bites you. What? What, do you, like, grab it by the end of the crystal point or something? For the preaching hamster and images of media, one of the greatest photos ever taken by humanity. Oh dear. You guys can't roll for sneakiness for a necklace that's right on... Hi. You're the one that said you gotta stock up on eggs. My mind just followed the fishing line. Yes, of course I noticed. I can't figure out what this... Grr! Maybe if I make this part smaller. Maybe the... Okay, wait. Yeah, if I make the body smaller, wait, that makes a huge difference. Maybe I was making the bodies too big again. You rolled to sneak, but not to pickpocket? The heck? Alright, maybe something like this. It doesn't feel special enough. It doesn't feel special enough. I don't know how to make it look better. Not enough room to work with, honestly. Maybe if there's, like... I guess it looked different in my head, but I don't know how it looked in my head. Close to camera, more focus on the rainbow horn, maybe? I had this feeling that I would be able to paint, like, some really cool, like, aura around it, but there's, like, no room for that now. What? Why are you guys trying to figure out game mechanics against me? I'm gonna have to make, like, some proxy food that looks like crystal bits so that you guys stop trying to go after this thing. Like cheese platter, but instead it's rainbow crystal platter. I don't know. Actual rock candy. Now you're experiencing real-time why every company logo gets simplified into oblivion, but I don't like simplified logos. They're so bad. They make the world so boring and sad. It's just counterfeit. It would be legal tender, at least. Alright, maybe something like that. Or maybe, maybe I'll just do the dot eyes. I don't know. You can do the dot eyes, you can do the polka doll eyes. It could go either way. We could do, hang on. What if I just did, like, very simple, I don't think I like that. Wait, maybe I'll just go, Fox direction? Fox direction might work. Yeah, I think that works best. Especially for something that's more like icon based, right? And then we'll have like, I don't know, somehow I'm gonna make this like sparkle all rainbowy and prismatic, making it look nicer. Something like this. I don't know. I've always loved the fox eyes. Even though we're working with rabbits here, I just think it works for a lot of animals that have like a more symbolic take to them. Counterfeit isn't legal tender though, it's why it's called counterfeit. Well, there is no like... It's legal tender in terms of food. We can scam the forest creatures their land with counterfeit crystals. Would've guessed a mecha artist who draws like a million lines and everything would hate simplification. Yeah. Colors usually help in that regard. Yeah, I think that's just like not a bad pose for Prism, honestly. I don't hate this. I think this one's working. The others I think are just gonna be like a little bit simpler, I suppose. Unless we can think of anything better. something like this, maybe? This one was previously Prism, so that doesn't work. This one was a test on Prism, that doesn't work. This one I think was also Prism, that doesn't work. Something like this. Like this. This could... I feel... Man, I really wish that I could sculpt these. Because they kind of look like little, they kind of remind me a little bit of, like, Netsuki. In a way, you know? They kind of have, like, that Okami Netsuki feeling, I just realized. It wasn't intentional, but it kind of feels like that, doesn't it? Maybe I'll actually leave it without the mouth. Maybe it actually looks better that way. I don't know, does anyone know the little Netsuki doll? It kind of has like that doll feeling, in a way. What's wrong with the Prism ones? They were just the old versions. They weren't working out too well. I think this one works out well, though. I think this one looks good. At least one of those icons better have yippee creature eyes. No, because I'm making them all the... I'm doing the fox eyes for all of them. Even though it's rabbit. I really like that it kind of has more of like a symbolic feeling to it. It kind of feels more, it kind of has a feeling of it being more like, ancient, if that makes sense. And then I just sort of have to refine them a little bit. Like this one still has too big of a head, I think. Which is okay. That'll work for the one with largest ears, most likely. But those eyes, give it a more symbolic feeling. And I think it works really well for something like a badge. One of them being a yippee creature would be funny. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, and a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for this. I really don't like the yippee creature, if I'm being perfectly honest. I personally, I'm not a fan of it. It makes me uncomfortable. But that's just me. I like flat logos, but only when it's not replacing the original one. Yeah, if it's designed originally as, like, a simplified logo, I can live with it. But if it's like the Firefox one, where we literally got rid of the fox, no, we're not doing that. The eyes do make them look very, very fox-like. Yeah, but it also, I feel like you could also put this design on, like, a cat or a dog, and it would still work. It just has, like, a very zen feeling to it. Like, even if you did it on a dog, like, let's just use, like, floppy ear dog, right? Because that's, like, the most generic dog can't be mistaken for cat look. I'm making them even floppier so that we don't have, like, a golden glow situation here. It just kind of gives them, like a nice symbolic feel. I don't know. Like, does anyone know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of just... It's a very zen vibe. And I like it. I really like these types of eyes. On a dog, you simply get a Shiba. But yeah, I don't... There's something that works really well. If you want an eye style that's, like, very timeless feeling, very, like... It feels like some sort of totem. I think that's the best way to say, right? It has, like, this totem feeling, this, like, zen otherworldly feeling. And I've always loved these style of eyes. Is it correctly representing the chaotic energy of stargazers? Well, maybe not, but you know what? This is a badge next to your name, and it's small and hard to read anyway. It's more symbolic than anything, right? Besides, stargazers were not originally chaotic, they just turned that way. But it's like, it's something that has, like, a very soft, symbolic feeling. Like, I don't know, I keep saying Netsuki, but I feel like that's the closest example I can think of, is it has a very Netsuki feeling. It has very, like you would see this in, like, some sort of, like, scroll or tomb or like, something that showed it. It has that like ancient Okami feeling. Now that you mention it, yes, it does give him totem animal energy. Yeah, see? And I feel like that totem energy is good for something more on the symbolic side, like a badge. For emotes, we can go wild. For emotes, we can have, like, derpy, prism, and everything. But I think that for a badge, a totem-like feeling really works. Simplified in an ancient way. Yeah. Doesn't matter if they weren't originally chaotic, it's what they are now, and there's nothing to be done about it. Ancient Okami, but the game's only about a decade old. You know what I mean. It's got like that. Actually, I think they do have like chibi versions of the zodiac animals in Okami. I think they do have like little totems of them, don't they? Going back to cave drawings for this one. You get what I'm saying though. You get what I'm saying. I know you do. You're just messing with me. But I know you understand what I'm talking about. Now we just have to figure out what color corresponds to each one. I feel like, all right, let's try to color coordinate these. Oh really? I just nodded way. I'm not sure about the curled up one. I might have to revise that. I'm not really sure if that's working yet. So this one we definitely know is gonna be Prism, so we can quickly throw that together. And then the pink one, let me grab the picture here of all of our little friends. That I just realized is not on the right canvas size. You want it have to be all difficult, huh? Fine. There should be 7 total. So the pink one, maybe, let's see. Just sort of testing things out. Maybe this one, because it's like paw up, like a little bit on the happier side. This one kind of feels like it would be the yellow one. Maybe this one as the purple one? Purple sitting? Maybe. Oh, maybe this one would be the purple one. Yeah, that could be it. They seem chill? Yeah, that's true. Maybe... We do have kind of like 2 sitting ones, don't we? Might have to edit that. This could probably be the green one. That seems kind of accurate. Maybe... This one should probably be the blue one, because there's a lot more detail on the tassels. And then there's the indigo one. Wait, do I have too many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, okay. I guess this would be the indigo one, and this would be the orange one? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure about that curled up one. I feel like it's not working, but I don't know what would. But what do we think of these so far? Do these kind of feel like they're working? This is basically, I guess we'll just like make this like white and we'll just do this again. one's fine, that one's fine. This one's probably okay. I like the one, the standing one stands out in a bad way. Standing, this one? This one? Is it too stiff? It does kind of just seem like a flip of this one, doesn't it? The rest of some sort of movement, that one doesn't. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Wonder what I could do with it. Hello, Seko. Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. Maybe, like... Maybe if I had him, like, a little bit posed more? Like... And then that might not be the green one, that might be, like, the orange one, or one that might be, like, a little more feisty. If it's, as long as it's not, like, you know, standing still like a twig, right? Maybe that could work, so it's a little bit different. And then add tail motion. Put him in the dog waiting for ball to be thrown pose. I think that's what we kind of have here, isn't it? That's kind of what I had for that, like, play pose in a way. That's better, gives it more character? Yeah, and then it probably won't be the green one. That would probably be the orange one. I'm still not happy with this, though. I feel like the curl is, like, a little off-putting. I just don't know why. Maybe there's, like, a different way to do it? Maybe if there's, like, a... I'm trying to think here. Wide stance instead of lean forward. The blue one reads as a cat stretch to me. I guess I don't know the difference between the cat stretch and the dog stretch. Have a look at a cat curled up. I don't think I like the curled up idea in general. I feel like it's not working. But I'm not sure what would. So I'm trying to, like, think about... Oh, wait. Maybe something like this. Maybe, like, if I can make this look different than the pink one. I don't know if that's gonna look too close to the pink one, but... a little bit more active looking. That looks different enough, I think. I think that one could work. I don't really know what it is, but it feels like it works a little bit better. That's like I don't know why it works better, it just feels like it might. I don't know. Maybe it's because everything's like a little bit further apart again? To do line on back. I think the reason I don't want to do the curled up or like the line on the back one is because it just makes it feel a little bit too different from the others. I think that's the main thing, right? It just feels a little bit too different from the others. I feel like these are basically just flips of each other, though. What could I do to make that different? I feel like this one probably looks like a better version. What can I do to make this different? if it was like lying here? I want them to all feel like they go together and not make them too separate, but also not make them look like just generic flips of each other either. No, that's just the yellow one. It's difficult. I could try line down, but why is someone on the left crossed out? Are them the ends that the burrows are already disposed of? What? No, it's just I previously was trying to sketch out which one would work for Prism, and these all looked like variants that didn't work as well as this one, and this ended up being the final. That's all. Maybe I'll just have like a laying down one, like this. I don't know. Ah, this just feels like the same. Okay, wait, what if I just tilt this one and make it a little different? Make it feel like this one's a little bit more in motion. And then this one is trying to, like, be more like a loaf. In a way. Something like that? Something like that work? You ref for the cat vs. dog pose, the media channel, if you want to see what I mean? Okay. Cat versus dog stretch. Illustrate what I meant with the forward stance. Forward versus the wide stance. Okay, okay. I think I see what you mean now. I think that the main difference is that, like, in terms of the chibi, the only visual that you would see would be, like, the arms being further apart or the arms being together. I feel like that kind of ends up being the only difference, in terms of how simplified it has to be. That's good, make him look proud. There you go. Kinda has like a little bit of a Sphinx vibe, doesn't it? Limbs being only one segment makes it harder to tell. Yeah, that's the only issue. I think this works just in terms of like shape simplification, because if these are a little too far apart, like this one, then it can get mixed up with the tassels. So if I put these together and these further apart, it might like balance a little bit better. I think we might have gotten it, though. We just have to switch around some colors. The purple one can still be... Yeah, I think this still works for the purple one. This... Let me see. No, these could actually... maybe these could actually still work the way they are. I don't know. Do you think that the colors match the critters? Yeah, it does make it... It definitely does make it harder to tell, though. You're right about that. Because the thing is, once I figure out, like, which color belongs to which, then I can start, like, refining the, I can start refining the specific details of each design. Swap green and orange? I was debating on that. I wasn't sure. What do you guys think? Should we swap the green and the orange one? Let's see how that would feel if we did that. Because, like, just because he's the fiery one doesn't necessarily mean he has to be the, like, strong-stanced one. Kind of go either way. It could be, like, more fiery because, like, you know, wispy, running around in a way. Is the indigo one splooting or running? Definitely sitting. The yellow one is the one that's running. The yellow one is the one that's running. I'm disappointed none so far are eating candy. How about serious ideas? What about one standing up on two paws or one laying face up like a cat playing with a ball? I'm trying to not- these are gonna be like really shrunk and really small, so I'm trying to not make them look super crazy different from each other, but just enough so that they kind of feel like a decent collection. If that makes sense anyway. The orange pose reminds you of Flareon? Is Flareon? I guess so, huh? I don't. Flareon can kind of be both. It's very hard to make like a bunch of multicolored four-legged characters without it straight up looking like it's evolutions. Makes sense? Just giving ideas? Never say they necessarily be right ones. No, it's okay. Like, I like the ideas in general. I just think for this particular project, I kind of need them to look a little bit more simplified and totem-like, I feel. Because these are gonna have to be pretty small. Pretty small. Actually, this one probably has to have a little bit of a size ratio change. You just have to keep tweaking them like that, you know? Just so that they kind of... they all have a little bit of a different feel to them. But without being too crazy different. Yeah, like that's... that works a little bit better for the smaller icons. My one looks like a Jolteon Baton. I feel like that's gonna happen just for having it in yellow. I think that this could work, though. So then, the way it would probably end up being is, like, each month is, like, going down the color scheme. Until Prism. Which probably means... that probably means the majority of people are gonna have the pink one. I'm wondering how that would feel. If the majority of people had the pink one. If I went in the order. That's something I didn't really think about, to be honest. Let me also make sure I'm not stupid and not forgetting any of these here. I didn't really consider that all of them were going to look like the pink one for the most part. Almost forgetting the most important part. I know! We make a pact to join membership in staggered waves. You always keep a nice gradient in chat. No, I mean, like, statistically, most people are only ever going to stay for, like gifted subs, right? Gifted subs means that, like, the majority that you're gonna see are gonna be whatever the first one is. And that kinda just now occurred to me that any that are, like, gifted 1 month random, it's all gonna be the pink one if I do this. So now I'm like, suddenly I'm hesitant. Suddenly I'm weirdly hesitant. So now I'm like, I'm not really sure now. I didn't really consider this. I didn't really think this far ahead. I'm like, wait a minute. Now the first one is all gonna be the same. Like, the majority are all gonna be the same now. What color do you want them to be? I mean, it would be nice if it kind of went in, like, a cool rainbow, but now I feel like everyone having a default to pink is a little strange. Cause cause it's the gifted thing, right? Cause most of the gifted ones will be, like, people are just hanging out and have it, like, a random, like, if that happens, then, like, that's what the majority is gonna be. And I just, I sort of forgot about that. That just hit me, just now. So now I don't really know. I'm sure everyone will stay for at least 4 months? I'm not sure. Stop being hesitant? I can't help it. It is who I am. Hesitation is my middle name. But yeah, Now I'm wondering if the first one should be, like, an inanimate object or something. Maybe divide the first month in 2? You're only allowed to set up monthly breakpoints and there's no solution possible. Lore drop. Maybe the first one would be, like, a symbolic thing. I don't know. So be it then. If people want not pink, they have to stay longer. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of... Man. It's one of these things that, like, it feels helpful in theory, and then I end up finding, pitfalls. Hello, the pink one on the second row is my favorite so far. I'm glad it's your favorite so far. That's good to hear. First one could be the wisp shape. People who stay get their stargazer form. That actually, that's an interesting point. Cause, like, it's like the idea is that, like, if you're part of the community, then you would have, like, a full stargazer form. But if it's like a membership, it already feels like you're part of the community, so I don't know if that's, like, weird. That could make sense, though. It could make sense. Because then it could be, like, that could straight up be prismatic as well. I feel like I need to bite someone. Which one? Which one? Shapeless stargazers are still part of Hallucinari. That is true, yeah. If I did something like that. If I had something like... Let me think how this would look. Kind of this... formless, no, that looks like it's straight out of Mario. Something to this effect. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't, like, been able to get any solid... It's not very easy to draw this type of situation, but no, this could work. This could work if it had, like, Like, me for being fussy? We don't really need to do that. Not really a necessary thing. If I could find, like, some sort of... something like this, perhaps? could work. That could work. I don't know. I'll make it pink. I'm trying to make it, like, open for every color, every possibility. It could be anything. It's formless and shapeless. And it could have any possibility there is. That could potentially work, though. That could potentially work. You'd finish the Mario Star, you could have one more drawing to add to the less than 1 minute alive yet forgotten unforgettable characters list. Oh. Well, the thing is, like, wisps are sort of, like, helped with a crystal form. So I was debating on adding that, but I don't know. It's also not really, it's not really super visible. It's more just, like, I guess, like, sparkles just make more sense, honestly. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out, like, the way that this looks at some point. If it did have that, I think it would probably be pretty... It would probably be, like, in the back, maybe? Like, sort of inside, like, formed inside. I don't really know if that makes sense. I don't think that really works. I thought Prism is only allowed to be prismatic. So the thing is, like, yes, but the idea is that a wisp kind of is formless. It doesn't really have its set path yet, you know? So it's sort of, it has, like, infinite possibility. Are the wisps Foxfire inspired looking at them now? Those I type in realize that is sort of what Will-O-Wisps are in the first place, since they come from, St. Elmo's Fire. Yeah, basically, like, Foxfire and everything very, very closely connected. Flame Luna will be as nihilistic as the other little bundle of joy and shine. What? The Candy Cursor and the Wisp? I'm confused what you guys are saying. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by Flame Luna. But yes, there is, like, the Foxfire element. Yeah. The thing is, like, it's kind of like an ever-changing thing. So it is sort of like the only thing that kind of could be prismatic in a way. And then it sort of gains its solidity, solid form later on, you know? And then it kind of has the... I could have just had them all, like, as white fire, but I don't really think that that looks very good. So it's basically like a prismatic fire in a way that needs to be contained and given a purpose, so to speak. Luma Lee from Super Mario Bro movie, autocorrect playing games again. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know how those stars in Mario come to be. But yeah. This could work though. This could potentially work. Having it as like formless wisp and then going through the different forms and then ending with like prism. Potentially. I feel like 4 years is a little crazy though. I might see if there's a way to change that. And the other thing is that, like, if we have these, then we sort of just have them as, like, available icons for anything as well. As opposed to if we ended up doing it with, like, the products. Or the props, I should say. But I feel like this could work. I feel like this could work. trying to think if there's any other elements here. Let me save this just so we don't lose it. Does Discord now also allow badges? I do not know how that works either. I don't think it does. There might be an add-on that you can have with it. I remember seeing some kind of add-on at one point that was like, that allowed Discord to have badges, but I think it's not based on how long you're in the Discord. I think it's like something very different. Maybe, but at the very least, there should be a super special one for something big like 5 years. I feel like that would have been the Prism one, no? Or you're saying if I made it shorter? Yeah, that's a good point. I'd have to think about that, probably. 5 years you become Starlight. I was trying to avoid just that being the straight up thing. Because at first I was like, oh, foxtails, and like each foxtail for a month, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't really make sense. You make our Discord colors shiny or radiant, if I recall. That's another good point. That's another good point. I actually want to ask you guys about that. Especially, like, if you guys are here now, I do want to ask you about that. So, the way that works with the Discord colors and with the Discord tags and whatever is you essentially have to buy it with the Discord boosts. Like, right now, we're at, like, boost tier 3. And if we wanted to do one of those things with, like, the prismatic names or the Discord tag or whatever, we would go down to boost 2 and sort of spend it for that. It's really strange. So I didn't want to touch any of that until we had, like, agreed on what kind of thing we felt would be worthwhile for that. If we ended up doing that, if we ended up doing that direction. Because it's all based on boosts, but you have to, like, pick and choose, and you can't just unlock it. You have to, like, use it as a currency. It's weird. I don't quite understand it, but I didn't want to just, like, bring things down to then make a choice. So I would rather ask what you guys would want instead. So if you guys have any specific opinions on that, because I know people have asked, like, oh, why don't we have a server tag, or why don't we have a unique URL, or why don't we have, like, the colorful names? It's something that you have to pick and choose. That's why I haven't jumped on it yet. Because I don't want to do that without anyone's input, you know? I got the Super Nitro this weekend to have access to longer messages so I can add a boost. I appreciate that, Charles. But yeah, it's, I didn't want to do anything without, like, asking people first. I think Boost 3 is most important to maintain. You can upload heavier files. However, you're allowed to ask people to give you more boosts. I think people right now may not find reason to boost further. Yeah, that is true. The heavier files, though, I think it's only within the server, correct? I think it's only within the server, so I'm not really... I guess the thing is, like, I don't know what people value the most. If they value that more, or if they value the tags and the colored names more. It might have to be something that we discuss, like, in the server with, like, taking polls or something. Because I just don't want to, like, make any decision without hearing what other people would prefer. Understood how it works? Though, yeah, upload limit's kind of more important. I value biting the most. Vesa, please! Please. Come on. Oy. Okay. I'm totally gonna regret this. But, Siam Zero was saying, you know, what would happen if it was, like, 5 years or whatever. Here's what it would be after 5 years. You think you'd be able to do that? Does that seem fair after 5 years? Does that seem fair? 5 years. If we went by a crazy metric like that. I feel like you're not using half of what Boost Tier 3 allows you to do right now. More emotes, heavier files, better IMO. I mean, I agree with you. That's why we're working on, like, emotes and ideas and things like that. Absolutely. As long as it's that exact 2-second non-symmetric design. Oh god, I couldn't live with myself if I did that. For the low price of 5 years, we got to munch on the necklace. Yes, and everyone would see it in streams. That you had exclusive access. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 5 years. Oh. You can have 250 emotes, 60 stickers, stream at 1080p, an animated server banner, custom role icons, etc. Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot we can do, and I think that, like, once I push through getting these two little chibi wallpapers out of the way, which at this point I'm probably just gonna do off stream, I want to use most of the Monday streams to sort of be developing those things so that we can utilize those features, like, as fast as possible. I wanted to get this done just because this has been, like, swimming in my head for way too long. But I want to work on emotes and things that we can, like, immediately put into the Discord, that we can immediately start adding, that we can, like, start utilizing and things like that. You want the full necklace, not only the gems? We know you had replacement candy, so we need guarantee of it being the original. Well, how is it gonna be the original if multiple people have it? Upload boost only benefits people without Nitro anyway. I already have a 500 megabyte global upload limit. The upload boost would only be for the server, right? And I can't really imagine, like, that big of files being sent in the server? Stream at 1080p if only we had voice chat someday when we gain our trust. You might want to, I don't know, you might want to keep your eyes out for the future. You never know. Big rock candy for gigantic 8K renders of pieces. I mean, even an 8K piece shouldn't be that big. I do 8K commissions for people. I've already sent 500 megabyte files in the server 3 times. Have you? Wait, what's been 500 megabytes in the server? The other day I wanted to send a full 8K clear and it was too heavy? Was that more than 500 then? Because wait, we should have already... You're saying that we already have the larger file size. Pictures of his 593 terabyte storage. Fair. It was a 6-minute video. Oh, okay. So that could be like multiple gigabytes. Clips I uploaded before were direct uploads of the video? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't get, apparently like 4K videos. So, okay. So the main thing is, like, we apparently need to maintain the upload size benefit. But then anything beyond that, anything that's like a Discord tag or prismatic names or custom URL, I think those are things that you have to decide on like exchanging in addition, from what I understand. And I don't know what people would want to go for, so I don't just jump into that until I know. I'm limited to 50 megabyte file uploads because I have the cheap Nitro. So in the server, I think you would have access to larger files. Add an announcement with goals for extra boosts so people feel incentivized to boost further. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I have to be careful with goals, though, because that's how I ended up doing the mobile wallpaper chibis that we're still doing now in September. So I have to be kind of careful with that. I have to be a little bit careful with those. Because, yeah, that's the problem when we have goals. I end up spending months doing things. Starfire. Soon. I just need to clean up a chibi. But I just finished another commission that had been on a deadline. So I am hoping that I will have some time to get the Stargazer base done that I promised. I would have done it this weekend, but I wasn't feeling great. And finishing those wallpaper chibis. Get those done. Get those sent out for you guys. The Bulbous 10-pole clip was 12 minutes long. I had to very carefully limit out the file to get it under 500 megabytes. Oh, I see. I see. Starfire drawing day, we spent it just yapping just like right now. It's okay. One of the things about these streams that I think I'm realizing is that I am not able to do clean rendered stuff on these streams. They're better for sketches and studies where I don't need a polish, because polishes I feel like I just need to concentrate more. And I don't think that anyone would be interested in, like, lo-fi beats drawing stream. Because, yeah, I can't, I've tried doing that in the past. It didn't really work. I've tried doing, calm mic off stream. It didn't work last time I tried it. We could try it again, but I don't really think that it's, I don't know, I don't really think that people would have any interest in it. Maybe if I ended up doing, like, some sort of, like, lo-fi girl setup thing. But yeah, I think that these streams are best for just getting the ideas done, getting the sketches, doing the development work, and then off-stream is when I can polish it more. I don't know, maybe I'll do some sort of lo-fi thing. Or I'll just play Arknight's music. I'll just have, like, silent, no mic, instrumental Arknight's playlist to work to. You just do that, just have, like, Lo-Fi Fox to draw and play Arknights too. Exactly. Is there any other announcements we have for today, or are we waiting for a bit to figure some stuff out? I mentioned the VGen thing. I think that you were AFK for that one. I mentioned the VGen thing. That's why I brought up your, Stargazer form here. I mentioned the VGen thing, and those can also be done on stream because these are also, like, not polished. But if you want, like, something polished for, like, a little bit more time and, focus and rendering cleanliness, then that can be, like, a separate thing, too. I had to suddenly AFK several times today, so I missed it. No, it's fine. It's all good. So I think that was the main thing, right? And then I know that other people have had, like, questions about, like, what a Stargazer is capable of and different abilities and things, and that is something that I'm still researching. What did you announce before I got here? There were some people that didn't, that wanted me to do, their Stargazer design for them, so I linked a VGen post, that's sort of like my open, small, Bakadoodle, like, short, quick design commission work. And that would be open for Stargazer designs, if people were interested. When are you going to announce our 24-hour Fortnite tournament stream collab? That's funny that you think that I could do any 24-hour stream whatsoever. That's hilarious that you think I'm even capable of that. I truly don't think that I will ever be the type of streamer to be able to handle a 24-hour stream. I know there's people who do subathons and everything, and I I feel like I will never have the stamina for that. I don't know how people do. I really don't, I will be honest. I feel like the longest I've ever streamed maximum was probably like 6 hours. And that's like a daily stream on Twitch for most people. I'm still researching Stargazer's ideas. What are you doing to those poor creatures in your lab? There is. What are you talking about? It's not a lab thing. It's researching spell work. It has nothing to do with a lab. But yeah, I think we've got a good foundation for the sub badges. If everybody thinks that these make sense. And then I think we've got a decent foundation for the food, unless anyone has any other ideas or directions. If you guys want to discuss your silly cookie currency at some point, that can also be done. There is, like, regular currency for the Atelier. There's, Kitsune coins and Shrine coins, and that's more of a wish-granting thing. The cookie thing? I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know how you guys are planning to have cookie currency and be able to run a bakery. What is food for? For eating, glad to help. Stars Gacha has 2 currencies, 1-star review. Bomb-shaped fruit? Bomb-shaped fruit? Oh dear. How does that... I'm scared to ask. Does Newbie grow that? Bomb-shaped fruit, goodness. Aren't most berries technically bomb-shaped if they're round? I mean, isn't that why they call it a cherry bomb? Is it the wish-granting coins or the Kitsune coins that cost IRL money and are paid away? Oh, goodness. Pomegranates are already named after grenades. There you go. Why no carrots for the Stargazers? Or are our treats the cookies? I don't know anymore. I don't know what you guys are doing with the cookies. Have you played Plant vs. Zombie? This is why people call them cherry bombs. Oh dear. I feel like most fruits on a vine kind of constitute that name, no? I mean, a regular cherry kind of already has that shape, no? But I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out what the heck you guys are doing with the cookies here. Otherwise I'm gonna get them mixed up, and I'm not gonna know what you use for your currencies. I do want to make more cakes, though. I do want to make more cakes, more parfaits, more... I want to go beyond the apples and the cheese platters. Okay, bad idea. What about bomb-shaped vegetable? How is that any different? That just then... That would just look like a pumpkin, no? Wouldn't that just be a pumpkin? Or an onion? Isn't that used a lot in, like, Halloween-themed things? Like, it's a bomb, but it's a pumpkin. Isn't that a thing? Pufferfish? What? I don't know what you guys are saying anymore. But it's, like... are there any other, like... food type things that we could serve? I could just make a bunch of more themed cakes, but I don't know. Or pomegranate. Third time I'm hearing the pomegranate. Third time I'm hearing the pomegranate puns. Carrot cake? Alright. Rainbow trout. Vesa, I don't think you want me to draw rainbow trout in the food category. I think that would make you very upset. Bomb-shaped cereal? Isn't that just, like, most round cereal? How is that any different from just, like, your average round cereal? You catch and release fish, the rainbow trout from the rivers in the forest. I'm drawing food right now, Vesa, or at least I have the food page open. Pomegranate is not a pun, it's actual etymology. I can believe that. I can honestly believe that. Bomb-shaped egg. Why is it all bomb-shaped? Burger? The burg? I have no idea how we would have a burger. I don't know what's safe to obtain to have a burger. That's why I was trying to stick with desserts. We import the carrots, pay the smugglers in Kitsune coin, and launder the wishing gems into cookies to avoid the star tag. What? Where the heck are you going with this? You want to keep the cafe mood? There's lots of room to play with sandwiches. That is true, yeah. That is true. We hunt the wild burgalope along the Serengeti. Oh, dear. Bomb-shaped mineral. We know those are edible for stargazers. Just a bomb-shaped crystal, huh? There is a lot of room to play with sandwiches, though. You're right. You were right about that. I wonder what kind of, like, what would work for sandwiches. I think you could do, like, some sort of... What could be done to make an interesting sandwich? Let me see if I can move this silly little coin cookie thing. I'm gonna make an interesting sandwich. That is really the... I don't need this anymore. That is really the dilemma. Cream sandwich with gem filling, like a strawberry? Do you mean like those kind in... Like the kind in Japan? When their HP hits 0, they explode into already cooked burgers. Like getting something with a flaming arrow into 2K. How can it automatically turn into burger? Where do you get the bread? Cream sandwich with crystal. That's interesting. That's an interesting one. Because you could have, like... Ooh, if you would... Like, they usually come in a set of 2, right? You could do, like, Oh, this is me getting very nerdy. But you could have, like, some sort of, like, primary, secondary type of thing. I'm getting super, like, color nerdy here, but... I'm just thinking of, like... Wait. Alright, this is stupid, but I'm kind of liking it. No one else is going to want this but me. Like, when you have the... different... color schemes. Alright, maybe that looked better in my head. Maybe that looked a little bit better in my head. Yeah, it probably looked better in my head. When are you not nerdy? When are you... Why are we questioning logic? The giant magic bunny world run by wish-granting foxman. Ugh. Can we make it like a Minecraft automatic chicken rotisserie? What? May have some food with something looking like black scales as a commemoration of Star saving. Oh my gosh. Black scales, that is interesting. That is an interesting concept. Some sort of like vanquished, I don't even know. Vanquished banquet. The burger lopes fell down to the barbecue so we don't even have to hunt them and then poop burger. What the heck? It might be. Why? Are you gonna yell at me for spoilers or something? It could be interesting. It could be very interesting. What would work on, like, scales? No, I'm intrigued by it. I'm intrigued by it. Is it bad that I'm thinking of those, like, tortilla chips that are colored black? Just having, like, the layered of the tortilla chips. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Stargazers would totally theme a meal after celebrating the defeat of their enemy. Black scale banquet. It has an interesting ring to it, doesn't it? It has a very interesting ring to it. That could be interesting though, like a platter of scales. There are good dragons that I feel like would be somewhat disturbed by the idea. Yeah, from Blue and Black Horn, exactly. It could be interesting, but I also feel like there's other dragons that would be very, very freaked out by it. But it does look the most scale-like, does it not? Black Scale Banquet. Something about that is an interesting title. Tortilla chips in a Lucinari implies the existence of a stargazer with a sombrero, so I approve because it sounds hilarious. I'm trying to think of, like, the closest equivalent. There's something very interesting about, like, the alliteration of that. Black Scale Banquet. I don't know. I'm intrigued by the name. Don't really know what it means, but I'm intrigued by the name. Straight up holiday food right here. What will they do if they're upset? We've started protecting us. I mean, I think they'll be fine because the other dragons that I know of are more feathered. They don't really have as many scales. I don't think they'll be as offended. They know they're different. They know they're different. Even if the food itself isn't black scales, the name is cool enough to keep it for something. True. Very true. It has a really cool name. That was a good name. I like the name. Even mine his ears perpetually airplaning. I could stick a sombrero on there, no issue. Use the scales as a plate for little servings of sushi. Oh my gosh. You could have like scale-shaped plates. That could be interesting. I apologize to like any dragons that are not involved in this. feather-shaped food if they try to pick a fight with us. No, they're a lot nicer. They're a lot nicer. That would be interesting. Like, not really correctly doing sushi rolls here, but I'm just thinking of like like an onyx obsidian, like an obsidian plate would be very interesting. I'm just intrigued by this idea. We've straight up got like this holiday developing here. I've never thought of like celebrating this. It was always something that was like a little bit off-putting. But maybe celebrating it is a better idea. Also, I have feathers, so I'm not really sure if I want feather-shaped food. Depends on the dragon. I ain't fighting Shu. She's gonna plant me into the ground. You guys are on your own. Very, very, very different. Chocolate fondue for the dragon's blood. Goodness! Now we're getting a little dark here, no? Although chocolate fondue is nice. I'll quickly sketch it out. I don't know if drinks are happening, but some sort of drink that you sip from the scale. That would be kind of flat, no? Of course, it's meant to be dark. I should know that stargazers are always going to go with the darkest option possible. It's a very interesting idea here. This definitely feels like something that would be in the winter. No dragons were harmed in the making of this stream. I'm just gonna, like, traumatize any good dragon. I wish I could talk more about this, but then you guys are just gonna be like, no spoilers, even though I don't know if everybody's read. Can you guys really be saying spoilers if you haven't read it yet? I want to say something, my head is empty, more so than usual. That's okay. We all get that way. It's a yearly celebration commemorating the fact. I just wish the other creatures of Hallucinari, like, realized that we were not involved. Because that's the main thing, is that we're kind of, like, outcast from the rest of this. But yeah, this is a very interesting aesthetic. This is a very interesting direction. At this point, might as well have a bonfire. Yeah, I feel like the sandwiches looked a lot better in my head. I'm not sure if I like that direction. It looked better in my head. It's been long enough, it's their fault if they're spoiled. There you go. That's the thing, right? Like, we don't have like a multi-year storyline with millions of volumes here. What if there was a shrimp that could shoot lasers and it blew up Raoul's most expensive train set? How does your mind go to these things? How does your mind do this? What mind? Oh dear. Well, Raoul is like trying to finish doing work while hearing about like deadly shrimp destruction. Uh. You blow my most expensive train, your entire aquarium and life will be shattered. But Vesa isn't the one doing it. It's just a random shrimp. What if it was just a random shrimp? Why is Earl always your punching bag? Because we're always his! Because we're always his! I feel like that's the real answer. There you go. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. I think we're gonna call it here because I think that we've sort of exhausted our current food abilities and we've kind of exhausted our current membership badge abilities. These are all things that I'm just gonna have to like eventually keep working on the side. Maybe I will do some like I don't know, Arknight's playlist lo-fi work time. I don't really know yet. I don't know, but it might be something I need in the future. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Hmm? But yeah, anyway. I think we will call it there. I know I've been ending streams a little bit earlier than normal. I'm sort of like, I sort of need to get back on track with things. I'm kind of, I've got a little bit of brain fog that I'm trying to get over. But anyway. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night. I hope to see you Tuesday. Tuesday, we're going to be doing a little bit more Icebreaker and doing a little bit more Great Chief reading. But regardless, thank you so much, wherever you may be in the world or the many worlds beyond. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night. And all the best. Thank you so much, Stargate.